Welcome to the Three Men and a Podcast with me, Verzo.
Me, Parky.
And me, Hammy.
So we're just three middle-aged blokes just going to talk nonsense. What do you think, boys?
We've been very good at it.
Yeah.
For many years of practicing.
Yeah, as you say, no warm-ups required. We just sit here and we're just going to talk some nonsense. Hi, boys. Episode 2. It's gone quick, isn't it? Since we've done the first one.
Cool.
You're wearing the same T-shirt.
I know. Don't give away secrets. You're breaking that fourth wall, mate.
This tea's still warm.
So, for those who are just tuning in the first time, why don't you listen to episode 1 yet? Go back and listen to that one first, then come back here, and that'll save me telling you what this is all about. Fair, isn't it? Very fair.
Fair point.
Yeah. So
You've got to do some work as well, listeners.
yeah, this episode is about comedy on television and wider. Sitcoms, stand-ups, the panel stuff, all that sort of stuff. So, Parky, you can go first, mate. What do you like?
I like comedians like Frankie Boyle, who are a little bit wrong, to be fair. We've seen him 3 times that I can remember, Jamie. We're seeing him again next year. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think he's very funny. I also like Jimmy Carr. He's up from the same cloth to a certain degree.
He is.
They do offend people, but if you don't know them when you're buying tickets to someone and then you're getting offended, then you should do your research. You know, don't go there and get offended and walk out.
But people do that, don't they? I don't like the bloke, but I remember him saying once that he started telling jokes. Jim Davidson started telling some jokes, and they were blue, and several people got up and walked off because they were expecting nice Jim from the snooker show on telly.
Yeah. You should check out what you're going to see.
Yes.
At the end of the day, Jamie and I particularly have always said, we've got a very similar sense of humour, and some of the stuff we laugh at is patently wrong, but ultimately it's just a joke.
Yes,
it's not created to cause someone pain or anything like that. It's just someone's sense of humour, finding humour in a subject that some people might not feel humour should be in.
Yeah.
But I like, as I say, I like that sort of stuff. Frankie's got his new show, New World Order. That's done 2 or 3 series of that. That's quite close.
It's your series 7 at the moment.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't realise as many as that, and I've watched all of them as well.
Yeah.
That shows how shit my memory is, doesn't it? But he, to get away with some of the stuff he says on there on BBC Two is fair play to BBC Two for letting it out.
I'd like to see the whole cut of that.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I'd love to see 2 hours.
I wouldn't mind sitting in the audience for one of those. That'd be probably quite good.
Nice little trip up Scotland. He records in Scotland now, so nice little trip up Scotland, sit in the audience of that.
I first got into Frankie through Mock the Week, which again was a great show. There's some really talented comedians on there. Who was the captain guy whose name I can't remember, which is not going to help here?
Hugh Dennis.
Hugh Dennis.
He's been on it from the episode.
He's a very clever, underrated comedian, writer, whatever.
Yeah.
He's
voiceover person.
He's very good.
Do you remember his sidekick when he was a double act?
Punt and Dennis.
Yeah, correct.
When they were on White House Experience.
Steve Punt. Yeah, that was with Baddiel and
Skinner.
No, not Skinner.
No,
Newman
and Baddiel.
Yeah, Newman and Baddiel, and them
didn't
two.
they work with Jasper Carrot as well?
Yes,
I think them 2 worked on Jasper
Good
Carrot.
work with the punt bit as well, because that could have caused offence if you'd said that wrong, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very good. Very good.
Yeah, I do like that sort of stuff. I mean, for sitcoms and stuff, I like the stuff I grew up with. Really, I think like Porridge was great. Only Fools, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of people now. I see stuff on Twitter now where sort of youngsters get hugely offended over Only Fools and Porridge and stuff like that because it's racist or it's sexist or it's.
Unfortunately, things were a time where things were different.
And
attitudes.
Attitudes.
Not saying they were good.
Are different now, but leave it as it is. It's from a time, isn't it? It's Porridge. It's 1970s prison life.
It's a window on that era.
It's not Tulips and fucking midget gems, is it? I don't even know. That's no thing. Yeah. See,
That famous saying. It's a midget.
I'm saying, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're the king of podcasts, mate. What's going on?
I'm just nervous around you two, I think.
have you been on some of that glue that Frankie
I'll tell you what.
as a youngster?
Do you know what? We called this Three Men and A because it's three men and a chat about comedy. Why don't we call it Tulips and Midget Gems? Fucking brilliant. Anyway, where were
I
we?
expect you to have a Tulips and Midget Gems t-shirt by the time I next see you.
Oh, I would
Yeah,
have thought
we
that.
have to copyright that. Now, Only Fools and Horses, fantastic comedy. Controversial this is. The last 3 episodes were shit. When they brought it back.
It did tail off.
When they walked down that, the road,
When they became millionaires,
that should have been
that was
it.
nonsense.
Yeah.
There was no need to do that.
No need to bring it back after that. Buster Merrifield had died, so they were without Uncle Albert. Mike the barman had died, so Sid from the cafe took over the pub, which is daft. It's just they were stretching it just to earn a few bob, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair comment. Sometimes you've got to know when to go out, haven't you?
Yeah,
Which I think Ricky Gervais does brilliantly. He does his two or three and out, like The Office, 2 series, a Christmas special, done. Extras the same, 2 and 1, done. Derek, 2 and 1, done.
After
After 3 series, gone. Even though I felt that he was running out of jokes a little bit towards the back end of series 3, maybe he should have just done a 2-hour special on that one and left it.
Yeah, possibly. I thought the last series of that was a bit drawn.
Yeah.
He's another one. He's Marmite, I think, isn't he? But he's an incredibly talented guy.
Oh,
The stuff he does.
he can annoy me as a person, but I like his stuff.
They call him a one-trick pony, but if he is, what a trick.
Yeah, I don't
It works.
know where they get that from, to be fair. I think he's a clever writer. I think his stand-ups are good. He's another one who pushes the boundaries of what's acceptable.
Now,
And I like that.
but do you think some of his later work misses the balance of Stephen Merchant?
Possibly. I thought Derek definitely missed Stephen Merchant.
Because reins him in a little bit, maybe.
I thought Derek was a bit...
I've not seen Derek.
Derek was good,
You
but
recommended that to
there
me.
was something missing. There was something missing. It was Merchant that was missing.
Maybe. Now, you mentioned Marmite, and we've done Gervais. Another one, James Corden. He seems to be the figure to hate at the moment, which is nonsense. Some people shouldn't be allowed social media, should they? Anyway, he's Gavin and Stacey. It's in my top 3 sitcoms of all time.
Yeah, another one I really
I really enjoyed Gavin and Stacey very much.
Gordon for some reason just seems to get people's back up, and he's a guy from. I've read his autobiography as well. He's just a lad from
He's just got lucky. He's a Salvation Army boy who's got lucky.
from High Wycombe, and he's done okay, and he's gone to America and smashed it. He now wants to come home, which is up, for him. It's good. I don't think I like A League of Their Own. I like that. I preferred that when he was on there, when he was the host.
I was getting confused. I thought League of Gentlemen. I was right in there.
No, I've never watched League of Their Own. That's an acquired taste, isn't it? Is that would that come under comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's one of my favourites.
Really?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Very
I never watched that one.
surreal comedy. I do like surreal. I grew up when I was little. I loved Spike Milligan.
You grew up when you were little?
Yeah, I did.
We all did, didn't we? Well, not all of us, but...
When I was, Spike Milligan,
At this
It's
point,
like that.
you'll hear us slam the door sound effect as part of the leader in half.
I was drawn towards the peculiar, weird. I loved Eddie Izzard when he first started stand-up. I loved that comedy, the just rants and Ray going off and making stuff up, talking absolute nonsense.
Here's one
That's
for you.
what we do.
Monty Python, overrated?
No,
No?
some of it's rubbish,
Yeah.
but I think 70% of it's brilliant. The films are very good.
I thought, the films are great. I thought the goodies were better than Monty Python.
The goodies, as John Cleese used to say, were Monty Python for kids.
Maybe that's why I liked it.
I was a big goodies fan as well.
Yeah.
People never kitting up the old
We all like a kitten up the what?
the post office tower.
I'm trying to remember the goodies. It's Bill Oddie, wasn't it? Tim Brooke Taylor and
Graham Garden.
Graham Garden, who probably wrote it all, I would imagine.
Yeah.
that's so I'm 50. Jamie's 52, is that right?
Yeah.
How
I'm 54.
54, so there's very similar ages.
They were mid-70s.
I reckon I was probably a little bit too young for some of the... I don't remember Monty Python. I've obviously heard of it.
Yeah.
And my brother and Frizz will sit and recite like Brian pretty much word for word even now. And that was their ticket.
I love Life of Brian because it annoyed so many people.
I just thought it was very clever. It's nothing to do with Jesus. It's a parody of Jesus is in the film doing his sermons
It's
on the Mount.
It's the stupidity of people.
Following people.
Yeah. It's a pastiche on the moronic nature of people who
Believe
in Jesus. No? Are we bigger than Jesus? Well, that was the Beatles, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was John Lennon, yeah.
Didn't I say that on holiday I was bigger than Jesus?
Yeah, you might have done.
I didn't mean it. But then again, he was only 4'8". Wasn't he back in them days?
Probably. All Middle Easterns are very small people.
Yeah. What? Oh dear.
This one's really going off on a tangent.
We're going to have a cup of tea now after that shock that Middle Eastern people are midgets. Thank you. Thank you, Hammy.
What that means.
Right, back from that break where no midget gems were taken. So after that bombshell about Middle Eastern people being small, we
Parky didn't realise he was an Arab because I'm only 5'5".
I honestly have no idea where they came from.
same place as my midget gems and tulips, I reckon. Now, what about ITV comedies?
Very sparse, aren't they?
Yeah, since the sort of halcyon days of the 70s where you had your George and Mildred, Man About the House.
Please, Sir.
Yeah, that was before my time. That was...
I vaguely remember. I was too young.
Now,
What was Mind Your Language? Was that an ITV one?
it was, yeah. Now, do you know what?
I remember watching that one.
I watched it as a kid, and it was really funny. Now, I watched an episode of it a month or so ago, and it was shit.
It's not funny.
No. It's
amazing how your taste changes and the world changes to affect what you see as funny.
But I couldn't name you an ITV comedy of the last 25 years.
No.
I used to quite like Hale and Pace. I suppose that counts, doesn't it? They were all right, weren't they? They were ITV, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think they were. Yeah. I suppose
sketchy when they...
Spitting Image was possibly quite good.
Yeah. See, Spitting Image and your sketch shows, but an out-and-out situation comedy, I don't think...
I can remember some, but they were awful.
I mean, ITV started Men Behaving Badly.
Yes, they did. They
dropped it. That was Harry Enfield instead of Neil Morrissey.
It wasn't very good with Harry
No,
Enfield.
ITV said no more, so they moved to the BBC, got rid of Harry Enfield, and it turned out good.
Hale and Pace, I just had a random memory from that when they had the little characters Billy and Johnny. Do you remember those?
Yeah, in the dungarees.
The Circumcision song. 1, 2, drip on your shoe. 3, 4, not anymore.
Clever.
Which I just randomly remembered that. I don't know why. Probably not their most famous joke or song, but it just resonated with me. And I've never had a circumcision, which is probably too much information.
I have.
Podcast.
I have. You help me out with that one day.
Yeah, let's. If you're going to tell that story with me helping you out with a circumcision, you need to be very clear about what actually happened.
Yeah. So what happened there was I had a bit of an issue where I was cleaning myself in the shower, and my skin got stuck. And it wouldn't behind the bell, and it wouldn't go back in place, and I was in a lot of agony. So Parky drove me to the hospital, and I went in. The doctor actually had to sort of stretch it like an elastic band and get it out. And afterwards, I gave him a hug because he relieved the pain so much. Anyway, so then I thought, well, I'll take Parky to the Labour Club for a couple of beers. So we sat there and. I've got a picture of something else on my phone.
You had something you wanted to show me,
and
you swiped the wrong way.
You swiped the wrong way, I think. And he went, "That's not what I want to see." And he saw it all in all its glory. So I had to take a picture of it to send to Katie, who was at work, so she knew why I was going to hospital.
Yeah, and when he says all its glory, it's not all that.
No, it's. I'm making it sound bigger than what it is.
I mean, I could use midget.
The injury probably helped
done that.
So,
we talked about going off on a tangent.
We've definitely gone off on one there, haven't we?
Yeah. So I think we better get back to some comedy, and
I'll talk about one thing. One thing I remember in the mid-80s was watching Billy Connolly's, an audience with Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen when I watched it with my mum, and we recorded it, and we used to watch it over and over again together before she passed. And it was Christmas last year. It was repeated, and I watched it all. I could still recite the whole lot.
Is that the one where he randomly talks about if your pubic hair was straight, you'd be able to brush it back over your shoulders? Or was
No,
that
that's not. That's a different one. But in that one, he's got names in pink behind him, Billy Connolly, and all favourite people in the. It was 1986.
It's phenomenal.
It's about 1986.
And you seen him?
I've not seen him. He's someone I would have loved to
I
have
saw
seen.
him at the. I saw him at the Gaumont.
Yeah, it might have been the Gaumont. I've seen him in Ipswich.
It is
1985. I know it is, but it was the Gaumont when I saw him. Why did they change it to the Gaumont? Was it a marketing ploy, do you
I
think?
have no idea because it's still got Regents written on it.
So, I saw him in 1985. 15 I was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to have seen him.
I do remember seeing him.
He just did a load of shows where he just talks about funny things in his life and what he liked. 7 episodes. I think it was on Dave or some one of those channels. It was really quite good. He's
A lot of
very
it's
funny.
very much factually just storytelling of what he's done.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Goes off on a tangent, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does go off on a tangent. Yeah.
We like
And it-
it.
I remember he used to sort of I'd seen him on TV and I'd seen him live, but he would literally say to the audience, right, I'm going to tell you a joke because someone's going to ask you tomorrow, what did I say? And you're not going to be able to remember because it's just stories and stuff. And you just sort of told this one joke.
But then
Went back to selling
he'll start a joke, and then 20 minutes later he'll finish it.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, he goes off on.
It's a bit like gigs in a packet of crisps, isn't it?
yeah. No,
He's a really funny
good
man
hour.
who I don't think was.
Billy Connolly, we're talking about, aren't we?
Yeah,
Not Geezy.
Billy Connolly wasn't given enough television time, in my opinion. I think I'd have loved to have seen a lot more of him. But I think he went to America and did a few sitcoms over there, I think, in the 90s.
He did appear on some American TV, didn't he? He appeared in an episode of Supergran.
He wrote the theme tune.
Of course he did, yeah.
Sang the theme tune.
Stand back,
the theme
Superman.
tune.
Stand back, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman,
and Robin too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing a singing podcast anytime soon.
Do you remember?
Panic listeners.
Do you
Or should
remember?
I say listener?
Yeah. If you're still there.
There will be listeners because we're listening to ourselves, aren't we?
Of course.
Yeah.
Great.
So, did you watch Supergran?
I didn't. No, I don't.
I watched a bit of it. I don't remember too much
I
about
can
it.
remember Sunday afternoons used to be Wordle Gummidge. I remember watching.
I quite like that.
But I
was a
don't
bit weird.
remember Supergram.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I quite like some of the American sort of sitcoms, like Friends, I guess, as a comedy. I like Friends. I'll admit to it on here.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory was another one I really liked.
Big Bang was great.
Modern Family, I really like that as well. And generally, sometimes you have an opinion. Some people say like the American humour doesn't transfer to
Some of them
and vice
do.
versa. But I think those ones really work.
Yeah.
Especially Modern Family. I thought took a bit from The Office and that's all.
Yeah, the mockumentary style, yeah.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there. Like I say, Big Bang and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how many. There's about 20 series of that, wasn't there? Something
There
like
was
that.
loads.
Just a couple of hundred
It's
episodes.
very good. My wife is totally watching the whole lot again. She's
It's one of those things you can have on. I often come home from work and the missus will be watching Friends, and I'll be like, must be, God knows, literally thousands of times.
Yeah.
It's something that I have on in the background, almost not really.
I'll often tune it. Oh, they're Friends. I'll watch Friends, and it's always the same 6 episodes.
And
Annoys me.
I think with the Big Bang Theory, it got better when they fleshed the cast out because initially
But it was just the three.
It was just the boys,
Yeah,
wasn't it, and one girl, and then they started bringing in the girlfriends, and normally that doesn't work, but it did.
It did help.
did,
It did
yeah.
give them more material. That's why I think it lasted long. I could have gone on. I think it could still be going now if they
I
wanted
mean,
to.
they got a spin-off. Young Sheldon. I watched the first episode and it was awful.
I've watched.
Yeah,
I think we watched the first
persevered with
3.
that, we watched it.
I like the first 2. Then I've stopped watching it now.
It's quite funny because there is some.
It's different.
What's the right word I'm looking for here? They're continuity errors of such.
Yeah.
There is some. I'll pick them out.
There's some where something's happening.
The grandmother is
Big
completely
Bang,
different to the grandmother who appeared
and
in.
young Sheldon doesn't correlate
Yeah, that'd annoy me
And that
too
would
much.
certainly annoy you.
Yeah, it would,
You're
yeah.
angry about stuff like that, aren't you?
Well, it's clever to have
That's another
the
podcast.
mother of Sheldon is played by the daughter of the mother.
Yeah, I like that,
That
yeah.
is quite
Yeah.
weird.
I was going to say Linda Perry, but it's not Linda Perry, it's something Perry, isn't it?
Linda Perry isn't she the one from Coronation Street?
No, that's Lynn Perry.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah. Linda Perry is a famous American songwriter.
No idea.
Yeah. Now, the Goldbergs. Do you watch the Goldbergs?
Yes, I love the Goldberg.
Yeah. That's a
I
set,
watched that from the beginning.
set in the
I love it.
80s. I don't like the more recent stuff. I think it's gone on a bit too long.
And now the father's gone.
Yeah, he got sacked because he's a bit of a twat on
Apparently he's
yeah.
a twat.
In real life.
We don't know.
No, somebody
But
else
he's not
dragging
in it,
him.
and they're not even mentioning the fact that he's not in it. And
Well-
they're actually superimposing his face on things.
Well,
And it's a bit weird.
in the
It's
new
a bit-
series that's now airing in America, the first episode, spoilers, he's dead.
Oh, they do. They kill him
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, so he's
Spoiler alert.
he's long.
It's like the series before that. They'd like he was there for half the series, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, all I saw was
the
a tweet.
teacher moves in next door, and he's in it to make up for the fact that there's no dad in it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work for me at all. And I thought,
What about, well, we talked about, your Frankie Boyle, your Ricky Gervais, Jimmy Carr, so we all know they're into the knuckle. What about your more mainstream? Do we like Michael McIntyre? Do we like Peter?
I think he can be funny.
Michael
I like
McIntyre.
I like the way.
I don't understand why he earns a living.
Who's
Awful, Michael McIntyre. He's so middle of the road rubbish.
He's okay.
So we're clear with your view on that one.
You
then?
don't like him?
Well,
You don't like him?
nah.
See, I
like Michael McIntyre.
I tell you, what I can't stand. I really, gets me cross. That Joel Dammit.
Oh, is it?
He hasn't really got an act.
He's,
That's the
he's,
thing.
he's everywhere, isn't he?
He hasn't
Yeah.
got. He hasn't got.
Who's there behind the mask? I don't care, Joel. Get off my telly.
I don't dislike him.
I hate him.
don't. But I'd like to know. What does he do?
I think
He's supposed to be a
sometimes
comedian, but I've never seen his act.
the BBC and ITV are too safe. They'll take the safe. Now,
He's got safe. He got caught wanking on the internet.
Who did? Yeah, Joel.
John Donovan.
That's how
Did
they
he
do it.
got sucked in by some woman, got him and filmed him, and it's a very famous story.
Yeah, it's a famous story. Yeah, he
Which I'm surprised why he's on primetime ITV.
oh,
he got catfished,
That was it.
and it was set up. He didn't realise it was a set
I
up.
wasn't at the deck setting them up, was it?
but, he was in discussions with someone else who'd got caught, and this guy, he basically ended up again. He's not out and having a wank on Skype or some sort of
Yeah.
After a
like
week.
that. And no, it was 20 minutes.
Was it?
So the guy he's talking to says, "Oh, it took him about 18 months before he got sucked in,
Yeah.
and he started to do this with this woman on there." And yeah, Joel Donovan was like, "Oh, it took me 20 minutes." He completely.
So, didn't do that to Pauline Fowler, did he? Did she come in? Did she come in the green room in EastEnders and catch him doing a bit of a sly one?
I don't know. Going back,
I'm sure he did something on the internet as well.
going back to Michael McIntyre, there's a
I don't
sketch.
think he's done anything on the internet.
There's a sketch where he talks about people's names who are spelt differently but sound the same. Stephen, Jeff,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Mm.
That's actually really funny. You should Google that and watch that. It's very funny. Very funny. My favourite one of those in terms of that sort of thing is Peter Kay's misheard song lyrics.
Yeah.
That's
I don't mind Peter Kay.
really funny. But he's another one. He's done a lot of stuff people forget. Phoenix Nights was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The one
The car
The
thing
car
with
with
Sean.
Yeah.
car share.
Yeah, that was quite. I'm quite sure.
Yeah. He was Danny Baker's dad in Cradle from the
I
Grave.
enjoyed the
Yeah.
Cradle.
Yeah.
I was disappointed
And
that didn't get a second
He
series.
didn't do a bad Cockney accent, did he?
No, he was good. He was good.
For a Bolton lad.
Again, he's another one I think is very good. It'd be interesting to know what's actually gone on with him. Something's happened. There's been rumours, hasn't it?
He's starting to cut. I think he's announced. He's going to be announcing a tour for 2023. I think. Now you mentioned Phoenix Nights. I did rewatch that the other week. Amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
At the time, I'll maybe
it's-
give it another.
especially if you grew up in the social club environment.
Yeah, it's like the Labour Club, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that on here?
Of course you are. It's not so much nowadays, no, but
The
more,
old Labour.
more, yeah, from when it was the proper,
Yeah, when it was a proper working man's club.
yeah,
What we would consider the original Labour Club, although it was the second one, wasn't
Yeah.
it? But the one we used to go to before they built the new one.
that's right. Yeah, that's
sort of-
that's what I remember, and it was them with the old boys on the committee. Was actually on a Tuesday. They'd actually go into the club and they'd wear shirt and tie and a suit on a Tuesday. You know, you don't see that. But
He also done Max and Paddy,
yeah,
which was quite funny. I found that quite.
I think
amusing.
was that a 2 series? I think. I liked it at the start, and then it. Sort of
the road to nowhere. I think that's where the script ended up. Anyway, end of part 2, boys. Hello, part 3. In the break, Hammy, you talked about Terry and June.
Yeah, it's possibly the worst sitcom I've ever seen in my life. Same story every week. He'd come home from work with usually a Chinese ambassador person from his business, and they'd have to make tea, or there'd be some sand on his drive or something. And he couldn't park his car, and that was it. Every week, same thing.
But
Terry and June, lovely people, I'm sure, but
it was millions, wasn't it?
it was incredibly popular. Ran for years, just like Lass of the Summer Wine ran for 30, 40 years. Awful program.
Oh, that's a controversial one, isn't it? Lots of people laugh at
No,
Yeah, but
I never got it.
a lot of
3
people.
old men, let's get in that bath and go down a hill.
3 old men, I think that.
Not find the bath.
But
Brent Hill's only around a couple.
don't you find a lot of people are happy with the mundane? That's why the likes of Ed Sheeran and Adele sell lots of records.
Is that why they do? I was wondering.
Yeah, you know, and your Michael McIntyres and your Last of the Summer Wines.
I'm not having Ed Sheeran as mundane, not at all. No, he's very, very good. He's a good songwriter.
If it didn't support Ipswich, would you say that?
Yeah, I would, because I quite like his music, and I like the fact that he does different things with his music. He collaborates with different artists and stuff like that. He's far from mundane. Ed
Yeah, I've heard it all before. Gilbert O'Sullivan, far better.
Adele was a bit repetitive.
Jake Buck. He's just Jake Buck.
Every time Adele splits up with a partner, she writes a record. So I'm hoping her new boyfriend have a very happy life together. Anyway, back to sitcoms. Good Life.
Yeah, I love The Good Life. Every Christmas, I do like their Christmas episode where they just do silly games. It is, as you just pointed out in the last one about Terry and June and that, people like the mundane. That's a bit mundane for me. But it's not rip-roaringly hilarious. But I just love it. And it reminds me of being little and home.
You don't really remember Good Life, do you?
I vaguely remember it. There was another one I was just literally.
And a teenage crush on Felicity Kendall.
Mine was Penelope Keith.
Felicity filming with electricity.
Yes.
That was
Rick Mail,
yeah. See, I liked Penelope Keith.
Oh, you liked a bit of that?
Yeah.
The posh bit, yeah.
What was that program called? That's the one I was literally just thinking of with the family. Something Birds, maybe?
3.4 children?
No, this was back in the era of The Good Life.
Oh, right, family. Butterflies.
Butterflies.
Yeah, that was quite
Wendy
good.
Craig
Wendy Craig, that's it.
and Nicholas Lyndhurst was one of the boys. Yeah.
I don't know where Birds came in, but Butterflies slide. That was just in my head for a second there.
That was right. 'Cause she, Jeffrey Palmer, he's the king of the sitcoms, wasn't he? 70s, 80s, yeah. Now, she's fed up with the home life and went and fucked someone else, didn't she?
That's what it's about, yeah.
Naughty.
Finding something more exciting.
Yeah.
What about the young ones? Obviously, we just touched on Rick.
Love the young ones. I rewatched that about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's filmed around the next street where I lived in Bristol. It was filmed in the next street. So that gave me a bit more interest into it as well. And it started your alternative comedy.
And it was surreal. It was crazy,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was
Weird.
yeah.
And it had a live band on every week as well.
And do you know why they had a live band on there?
To make it, to get past the rules or something, to make it a entertainment.
Yeah, make it a light entertainment show rather than a sitcom because they get more budget for
Well,
it.
something like that, yeah.
That sort of era was not the 9 o'clock news. Was probably
Oh, that
before
was- that was-
yeah.
Alas Smith and Jones, wasn't it?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
I like them. Yeah.
They were. That was
Unless Smith just spun off from
not
Nine O'Clock
News was sort of a was a bit more alternative as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
Pamela Stevenson, Billy Connolly's wife.
Yeah, she was. They did a lot of good
And the
stuff.
fellow who went on to be a magician, David Copperfield.
No, he wasn't in that, was he?
David Copperfield, yeah.
No, they were in that Three of a Kind. Lenny Henry, David Copperfield, and Tracy Ullman.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Well, but things like Vicar of Dibley, they went on for a long time.
I never really watched it. It was on. I'll be honest.
Richard Curtis, wasn't it? He does the tweed, doesn't he? He does the tweed. Now, again, probably 50 episodes of Vicar of Dibley. Probably 5 were good.
I never really. It's been to be the same joke each week to me.
It's there's a lady vicar. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I didn't really get into that. Another ITV effort.
No, it was BBC One, mate.
No, I think you'll find it later.
I think it was BBC.
I think Jamie's right on that. You've outvoted on that.
I think the wee ones that were on last year were on BBC, but I think the Vicar of Dibley was ITV.
What we'll do, we'll Google it after this, and then
We'll do a Google check.
episode 3, we'll have the apology from Hammy.
It'll be on page 12 of the newspaper with the smallest little paragraph.
Yeah.
Like the Sun when they apologise to Hillsborough.
It'll be in the Green. Oh, they don't print that anymore. So.
Yeah. See, Saturdays at 6 o'clock, I'd go round Walgett Road and get the green one.
And the sausage and chips from Woodgate.
Possibly, yeah.
So the random thing that goes through my head with that is we had the green one, didn't we?
Yeah.
But the Norwich had the pink one.
Yeah.
Is that literally just because of the colour of the paper?
Yes.
Yeah, we had the pink. Lincoln had the pink and Liverpool.
Lincoln had the pink one.
So why isn't normal paper?
It was the Echo. It was
called
the pink
you know,
Echo. Or
I'll
something.
go down to the newsagent and get the white one.
No idea, mate.
No. And why did they change the colour of the newspaper? Because surely it's cost effective just to use white, wasn't it?
Yeah, there will be. Yeah, that's an interesting topic to wonder why there was the pink and the green.
Yeah.
Was it specific? I can't think of any others, so maybe it was just pink or green.
Yeah.
There's only 3 series of Vicar of Dibley, and all
And
the
all
it was on BBC.
Oh, fantastic. So we've had that apology early. Brilliant. Now, we might as well talk about Blackadder, because that was great, wasn't it?
I loved Blackadder. I just watched, funnily enough, 2 weeks ago, the first series again. And we always, everybody's, first series rubbish, absolute rubbish. It's wonderful because Brian Blessed is shouty as stupid as best.
I have to confess, I haven't never watched Blackadder.
Never watched Blackadder, Buggy?
I haven't, no.
I remember watching Blackadder. The one that sticks in my head is Blackadder Goes Forth, the 4th one, and Rick Mail exploding onto your television.
Captain Flashheart,
as
yeah.
Captain Flashheart. It just blew me away.
I'll have to dig that out and have a watch.
It's something.
Yeah.
It's something you might struggle with series 1 first of all. It's 2, 3, and 4 are outstanding comedy. It's brilliant.
Now, I'm going to say top 3, I'll go Only Fools and Horses up until they become millionaires. I'm going to go The Office, and I'm going to go Gavin and Stacey.
Ooh.
They're my top 3, I'd say.
I'd probably go. I might Blackadder. I'd put in the 3 because they really did. I can still remember sitting on the sofa and just go wow
Yeah.
to that performance. And I know it's a usual one, but I'm going to go for 40 Towers. I love it.
Yeah. It's good.
It's very clever, right? And again, he got out.
Did you know Chloe Towers you seen that?
Yeah, again, I remember it.
Yeah.
It's something worth the visit.
Certainly wouldn't be allowed today again, would it? With what's
Some of the stuff in it, yeah, but it is very, very clever.
I'm actually just struggling with the top 3, to be honest. I mean, Only Fools would be my favourite.
I'll probably go for Big Bang.
I like Big Bang, yeah, certainly do like that.
One I love, I have just recently watched.
As a third one, really, possibly even Friends. I really like Friends. It's really easy to watch. You kind of got in with the characters, didn't you? You got to want them to get together, and you felt sorry for them when certain things.
With an American one, because they're on, there's 23 episodes. There's a lot more to it. And like you just said, you thought Vicar of Dibley 50 episodes. There was probably 18. That it was 3 series. In this country, you get 6 a series.
Yeah.
So if something goes on for 10 years, it's only a series in America.
I think, in America 24, that's worth 4 years of UK time.
It'd be interesting to know how many episodes of Only Fools there were.
63.
That went on 63.
Yeah.
To talk
Is that
about
Queen Specials?
I don't know. I made that number up.
Very impressed.
He said it so
With such gusto.
Talking about Only Fools and Horses, I went to see the stage show in London for my 50th birthday.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
My wife wanted, well, it was my birthday for a change, and whatever I wanted to do.
64 episodes of Only Fools.
Well, actually, in 61, you didn't like three of them.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Yeah, we went to see the Only Fools and Horses stage show, and it's really cleverly done. It's good.
Was who played?
Les Dennis Grandad?
No, he wasn't. I don't know who it was, to be honest. It wasn't someone famous. They've done a really good job of it. But it's really clever how they do
Lenny
it.
Henry.
And if you've watched the show,
He was Denzel.
there's a lot of references to the TV show
Okay.
on there, but you just have to kind of listen to them. And the famous bit where Del falls through the bar, there's 2 or 3 times in the stage show where you think he's going to do it, and then it doesn't happen. And then, obviously, I can spoil it for you, but later on in the stage show, he does do the whole fall
Now,
through
the
bar.
songs,
But it's really worth watching. Really good. I enjoyed it.
the songs of that were co-written with Chaz Hodges from Chaz and Dave and Paul Whitehouse. Because he was the original Grandad, wasn't he, when it
Yeah.
first
He was the
started?
first grade, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd recommend it to any of the listeners or listener,
Yeah.
or maybe just you two, because
The
it could just be
throngs
us.
of listeners.
Good, yeah.
Thousands of listeners.
It could just be us sitting in my little office at home every couple of weeks, doing a couple of episodes and just playing it back ourselves because no one will care. And I did post on Facebook today, this is either going to be brilliant or shit. So
Oh, yeah.
I've had a good time.
I enjoy it. It's a good laugh.
I've enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Did you watch Rock and Chips?
Yes, the
I
prequel.
quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like that as well.
I thought that could have carried on.
I think it would have done if he hadn't died. Selfishly died, didn't he?
Well, I suppose so, but his son writes now,
Yeah.
I believe,
Yes, because his son wrote the episode with David Beckham in it, didn't he,
Yeah.
for Comic Relief?
which was pointless.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, again, going to the top threes, I could easily put Gavin and Stacey in there as well.
I think I could
Another
too, yeah. I think at the time that was
See,
One of those
Corey
Corey
gets a lot of stick, but he co-wrote that, Bruce James, and that's top-notch TV.
I think Ruth Jones was probably the predominant writer in that, although he gets all the credit for it because she wrote. I don't know if you ever watched her, but she did a book called Stella.
I watched the couple
yeah,
episodes of it.
I enjoyed that. She wrote all of that, about 6 series of that.
Yeah, that was
She's
also
very
very
good.
Jones and Corden met on the set of Fat Friends.
Yes, I never watched that.
I did, only because they used Perfect 10 by the Beautiful South as the theme tune. That was written by Kay Mellor. She was a great writer.
She died recently.
Yeah, she did, yeah. Yeah.
Didn't she do some of the more gritty stuff, Kay Mellor?
Yeah, she done Band of Gold.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Band of Gold.
Yeah.
Beautiful set of women.
Yeah.
That's another podcast to talk of more about dramas. And
Oh, definitely, yeah, because well, I think we'll have one devoted solely to British dramas because I can talk for hours on that.
You can talk for hours,
Yes.
anything.
Possibly. and not all of it right, because...
What's your top 10 hours?
yeah.
Have you not heard about his slight disagreement over his listing? Because he's so absurdly doesn't like odd numbers at all.
Yeah,
But
I
he,
like
will
what
do,
you're saying.
he will do a top 5.
Yeah, I do a top 5.
That messes with my head.
5 is I'm
Yeah.
the same as that. So I'm on his side on that one. I get 5 because it's halfway. So it's a level.
If we had a podcast trying to work out and fathom my brain, it could be a series.
We'd need more than just us three talking nonsense.
We would.
as well. We'd need some proper.
we need professional assistants.
Right, boys. I think we'll wrap this up. I think we've had a nice little day. We've done 2 episodes. This is episode 2.
Very much enjoyed myself.
I don't think it had much structure to it, but hey.
Well, I hope you all enjoy it.
Maybe that's part of the. Well, it'll either be part of the appeal or the reason people turn on.
Yeah. So when you listen to this, give us some feedback and share it around all your socials. See, I'm up with the kids. Share it around your socials, folks. Anyway, it's goodbye from me, Burzo.
Goodbye from me, Parky.
And goodbye from me, Hammy.
We'll have to work on something better than that, won't we, boys?
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, it's fuck off from me.